What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're here to take a look at a team that I have showcased previously when the original Cat Dog batch first came out. We were lucky enough to pull Dogstorm in that particular Sugo Fest. However, throughout the treasure map experience that we've had, we're very lucky enough to pull Cat Viper. So in this video today, we're going to be covering Cat Viper in PvP alongside Dogstorm. So we'll just jump into what the Cat Viper actually does. For those of you who may not have seen the Dogstorm video, these two characters work exceptionally well together, and if you have them both in the same team, you're able to create such a combination that is very strong. So let's go ahead and cover Cat Viper. His passive is going to give your DEX teammates level 6 speed and level 4 defense. However, every time Cat Viper hits a critical up to 4 times, your DEX teammates will receive level 2 attack up, and if Dogstorm is on the team, he also gives himself a further level 5 attack up. So if you're able to run this guy alongside Dogstorm, he's going to be exceptional. He has a lot of buffs going on for your team, including himself as well. And then his special ability on a 29 CT targets enemies in a large horizontal range for 3.5 times his attack. It's a lot of damage there. However, if Dogstorm is on the team, he then further targets 3 quick enemies for 3,500 fixed damage. He just does so much damage against the quick team. He's an absolute boss of a unit. And then as for his other effects, he also completely evades special bind and gives 30% damage reduction versus quick. So of course, if you have the 2 brand new characters, including Dogstorm, who also has a passive that if Cat Viper is on the team, he gives himself level 5 attack up, and then a passive with his special effect as well that says if Cat Viper is on the team, he targets quick enemies for 2 times his attack. So you can see that if you have both Dog and Cat, both very powerful DEX characters, against any quick team, you're just going to melt through them. And I'm really hoping that we can showcase that to you guys today. In terms of the other characters that we are bringing we still have Borsalino from the PvP Sugo Fest. We have PvP Recruit Cavendish and Moria, both are phenomenal characters for this team, specifically against Quick. Moria is going to be fantastic with. We have Zora on the bench to come in and do some really good damage late game. We've got Whitebeard on the bench as well, and then Sober Mask to kind of clean things up towards the end of a match. Definitely when V2 Doflamingo gets his 6+ and when it becomes available, he may be a character you want to slide onto this team because he's going to do some pretty good damage output towards the end of a game. But with all of that being said, intro done and dusted, let's go ahead and jump into a few matches and see what we can do. So as soon as we actually click the button to find a match, this was the first team that I found on the bottom, and this looks like a pretty good way to showcase this team off. Now this isn't super optimal because V3 Kuzan is on the team, but it does include Final Tap Luffy versus Akainu, we've got Super Type Kaido, and we've also got Magellan. It's a pretty typical team that you would see, though I feel like the lack of Tesoro, the lack of Cracker, the lack of PvP Recruit Shiryu does obviously hurt the quick team. And I said this previously when we talked about the Dogstorm in his video. I just do not feel that Quick is a very good defense team, because not only does the DEX team offensively just tear through them, but even Wano Law side teams or Wano Law slasher teams just absolutely destroy them. So I do think that Quick is probably one of the worst defense teams that you could run. It's deceptively weak. I mean, you would think that looking at it, it's a pretty strong team and it can output lots and lots of damage. But there's just so many things in the meta in Pirate Rumble right now that can counter Quick. I just don't think it's a really valid option. Though we did have the recent release of the Groggy monsters, who are actually a pretty good addition to the Quick team. You see Cat Viper there coming in for some huge damage versus Quick there. This is going to hurt, obviously, a little bit of paralysis, but we can resist that, which is good. And here we go with Dogstorm. Here we go. Yes, sir, good damage, finally getting the KO on that Akainu. And Magellan, of course, does what Magellan likes to do, likes to haste his teammates. Unfortunately for him, that did not work, and he's already launched all of his specials. Cavendish should get a KO. He does. 10,000 damage there. Crazy damage coming in. We do have Moria, who does still need to launch his special. He's tanking all of those hits in the front row. He probably will just win it outright here. If he should connect with all of them. Oh wow, it whiffed. Ah, that's a shame. But we have the counter coming through from Dogstorm that actually was able to get the win there. So, as I'm saying, like, I just don't think Quick is a very good defensive team right now. So many things counter it. And yeah, this team just absolutely destroyed it. There was no way we were losing that match. There was just absolutely no way. So this one definitely looks a little bit more stronger, though it is kind of whack because Cracker is not super evolved, so I mean, that's a thing. However, still has a great passive in PvP. Having Tesoro and Cracker, this team is going to have a very high CT. And then you still have the core of Kaido, Akainu, Magellan, and then Whitebeard on the bench. This looks like a more scary team to take on, though the lack of Final Tap Luffy, no King, no Shiryu, damage output may be an issue for this team here, but that CT increase to them is going to be pretty good, right? So let's see how we go this time around against definitely a scarier team in my opinion, especially with Whitebeard on the bench. You can't understate how good Whitebeard is when he comes in late game. He just has that ability to reduce defense and then do the damage, and then can special bind powerhouse characters. Just such a phenomenal character. Works very well with the quick team, obviously. And also no groggy monsters either to give them enhanced damage output from the get-go. So let's see their CT. What are they running? They're only at level 5, some of them are at 16, some are at 13. Yeah, so it ranges across the board because with the quick characters, some of them boost themselves with their own CT, with their own passive. So let's see what happens here. Who's going to launch their special? Magellan launching first is actually really good for them. So they're going to get their characters hopefully hasted for them. They do. Akainu is going to get hasted straight to the top of the order, and we're going to get that health cut, bit of damage, but of course we are going to tank that relatively well. Moria launching straight off is actually really good for us, so we can reduce their defense. And look at that damage. They're already KOing the Akainu. This is gonna hurt, dude. Let's go. Dog Storm doing 10,000 damage. Yo, hold up, dude. Hold up. Extra defense, extra attack going in there from Borsalino. And that's it. Whitebeard's just gonna sit there and take the hit from Cavendish, and it's GG. Yeah, as I said, I do not think that Quick is going to be a very good option for defense, considering just so many units counter it, man. So good. It's so satisfying using this team too. So I saw this team and I feel like we kind of have to go against it just to see what's going to happen. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to go very well. I haven't actually checked whether this guy has his stuff leveled up. If this is max leveled stuff, I'm expecting us to not really do that well against this team here. However, it is kind of odd that Rebecca is on the bench. For those of you who have, you know, the Rebecca and Toy Soldier PvP Rare Recruit, just run them on the main line. The character is phenomenal. They have one of the best passives of any PvP Rare Recruit in the game, and they've got a very good special too. And I just feel like you kind of should run it on the main line. It's not a character that's going to help you that much coming in late game, like you know, like a Sober Mask or like a Whitebeard, for example. But I digress. Let's see how this team goes. Obviously, I mean, it might work for him in this situation. Obviously, the DEX offense team is not very good against teams that are, you know, not quick, or if they don't have any quick characters. Typically, it's not going to run very well. But I'm just genuinely curious to see what happens here. Because remember that Dog and Cat, they have the additional effect of doing damage to quick enemies, so that obviously is not going to activate, though their other effects are going to activate in terms of their passives, giving themselves increased attack. The action bind there coming in from Luffy, I believe that actually kind of hurts, because it does set him back a little bit in the order. Dogstorm luckily did get his special up relatively quickly there, gives us a bit of defense and the counter, so once they do some normal damage to us, they will get a bit of damage dealt back to them, though we're losing a lot of health very quickly here, despite the fact we have relatively high defenses, which is kind of scary. One thing though, there's no Yamato on the enemy side of the field. Yamato would definitely seal it for them, absolutely no problem. Still taking hits though, and Dog has already launched. Cat is going to launch though, which will still do a bit of damage to the enemy, but they still have a lot of health there, which is really scary. Cavendish, oh no, he's whiffed. Oh, that's a shame. Man, why did Moria go all the way over there? That's so bad. I mean, we still got the defense down on the enemy, but the damage being whiffed from Moria is so bad, considering he does defense down and then he does damage. So huge shame that happened. So we're really hoping for some more damage dealing specials here, and it's unfortunate as well, is because this team is really built in such a way to only take down quick, because the only damage, like the heavy damage dealers, is going to be Moria and Cat Viper on our team, because Dogstorm's not going to do damage. We've got Zora coming in now, which is good though, because Zora should be able to do some good damage, especially because we're at a point now in the game where, you know, we're at that 30-second marker, so our characters from the bench are going to come in, and that's going to be really big. I'm really interested to see how much damage we can do towards this late game, though our defense is crumbling. We have not a lot of defense going on right now, so that's the scary thing. Shanks does a lot more damage towards the late game too. So Sober Mask is in now. Cat Viper has actually got his special, but is he going to be able to launch it? I sincerely hope so. We actually have Zora coming in now. Please stay up. Oh, he just stayed up. No, he died. No, we couldn't even get Zora's special to launch. Dang, I would have loved to have seen that, but he still had Rebecca on the bench, and somehow Whitebeard is going to launch. Wow, he did good damage, but unfortunately, it is a little too late. And that is that. So, of course, if you are running a DEX offensive team, typically only play it against a quick defense team. That's going to be the best way forward with this team, considering you lose out on so much damage because your damage from cat and dog, you don't get that additional effect of doing damage to the enemy because they are not quick. So be very, very cautious of that. So with all of that being said, that is going to wrap up yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy that video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.